you a Kari Lake supporter, bro?
Yes. I am a supporter of anyone that's an advocate for free speech, anti-censorship, and freedom and my rights. I'm in Arizona. I thought I was safe. I'm not getting into it, but what they did to Kari Lake, I shouldn't go there. But Arizona was the last free place, or one of them, because like Texas is debatable. Florida's pretty free. South Dakota's free, but Arizona, everyone needs to be paying attention to what happened there.
Yeah, the irregularities when it came to the reports that people had at the places where they were trying to vote is really wild. Like, I wish I knew what was true so I could actually comment on it.
What I witnessed walking my dog in different neighborhoods was a lot of Kari Lake signs, and I didn't see one single one of Hobbs. And Katie Hobbs, like, her social media on Instagram had like 6,000 followers, like literally on the election night, compared to Kari Lake's at like 300,000. And I'm like, that means something. It doesn't necessarily prove anything, but my point is that people I was talking to, she had a huge, huge, huge following. She was doing all the debates. Katie Hobbs hid. But I know what happened. I mean, I don't have proof.
What do you think happened?
Are you allowed to say these things? Right? These are the things that they go like this to you, Joe. If you go, you know what I mean? This is like one of those things they go like this to you.
You think there was some manipulation that led to someone else winning? Perhaps.
You'd have to be stupid not to conclude that. If anyone that's looked into this, you would have. It's an insult. It's insulting my intelligence to think that something. Let me just say it like this. I just have some questions. That's all.
Well, all the people that was it Maricopa County? Is
yes.
that the area where they had the most irregularities were also the most Republicans?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, Maricopa County has a lot of blue to it too. But listen, Trump
Lake
won
has
there.
provided no evidence to support her claims of election fraud. Well, this is on Newsweek.com, which is totally unbiased.
Kari Lake, rising star, potentially on a Trump ticket. Who knows where that will go? And I'll ask you about that. But you, again, have not accepted the results of the election. And there is a belief that it's almost deliberate. It's like you've looked at Donald Trump and thought, you know what, there's a great way to make money and fame for myself, and that's to be an election denier. And I would simply say to you what I said to Donald Trump. I don't think it works for you guys. I don't think denying the result of democratic elections is an effective tool to actually win elections.
That is the silliest thing I've ever heard. That is the silliest thing I've ever heard. That is absolutely, it's funny, actually. I campaigned 525 days across the most beautiful state in the country, Arizona, and I know the people, and I worked incredibly hard, and our volunteers and the people gathered around. It really was a movement, and you weren't here to cover it, unlike we've ever seen in politics. 72%
you lost, Kari.
Of Arizona voters, sir, 72% of Arizona voters believe that election, something was wrong and it wasn't honest. 72% of Arizonans. And I want to make sure, I have children, I have 2 children, 18 and 19 years old. I want to make sure when they grow up, we don't continue to run elections like a banana republic, where on election day, voters showed up, our voters showed up 75% to 25%, 3-1 on election day, and the machines weren't working. They printed intentionally the wrong image on the ballot, and that was meant to have the ballot spit out and rejected by the tabulators. 250,000 times on election day, more than half of the ballots were spit out
but Kari,
by the tabulators.
As you know, there's been no...
Pierce, we can't continue to run elections that way.
Kari, there's been no independent corroboration that there was anything fraudulent about this election. In fact, it's pretty clear that you lost to Katie Hobbs, your rival, 50.3% to 49.6%. And as with Donald Trump, when I said to him, where's the hard evidence? He went down all sorts of rabbit holes, but he couldn't produce hard evidence.
There's a ton of... Pierce, there's a mountain of hard evidence, and when we presented it in our trial, the other side didn't even dispute the evidence. They didn't. They had
but not that the election result was fraudulent,
with zero chain of custody.
You twit.
Yes, well, we can't continue to run elections this way, and we know that we won, and we're going to continue to fight this in a court of law. And it's really rich that you're sitting across the pond acting like you know what happened on Election Day. I did not see your smiling face. We had lots of international media here covering Election Day in Arizona. Yours is one face I didn't see, and nor did I see it.
You could have had my smiling face, Kari, if you'd asked me nicely.
I would have loved to have seen you. We had more media covering our election than I've ever seen cover any story here in Arizona. And as I said, I covered Arizona for nearly 30 years. So it's okay that you are not comfortable with me fighting this election and fighting for election integrity.
No, I don't mind your fighting spirit. I don't mind it in Donald Trump. I've known him a long time.
I have every right to fight this election.
Absolutely,
this is an election
right.
contest.
But there does come a point, both for
and I'm
you
doing this for the people of Arizona.
There does come a point when, for the future of democracy, you and Donald Trump have to accept at some point you lost an election. Otherwise, the entire system collapses. If your simple response to losing is always, we didn't lose, we won, then democracy dies.
Pierce, I grew up in a family of 9. I'm the youngest. My father was a history and government teacher and a football coach. And he taught us that if we lose, and we lose fair and square, we congratulate the winner and we walk away. And that's exactly what I would do if that was a fair and square election. But I'm fighting for the people of Arizona. I go all over this country. I've been probably to 6 states since the election. In Arizona, I can't walk 10 feet without an Arizonan saying, I voted for you. Everybody I know voted for you. Our ballot was rejected on election day. Please keep fighting for us. I'm fighting for the people of Arizona. And I don't mean any offense to you, but I frankly don't give a damn what you think about it. I'm fighting for the people of Arizona.
Listen,
I truly am.
No offense taken whatsoever.
And